Welcome to our new series where we take 5 minutes to recap the training from our network gathering. Last month, we focused on making disciple makers, because that's what Jesus did and that's what he tells us to do. From the time Jesus told his 12 disciples that he'd teach them to multiply, right? Come follow me and I'll make you fishers of men in Mark 1:17, until his death, Jesus spent 73% of his time with the 12 disciples. It's 46 events with the few compared to 17 events with the masses. Out of Mark 1:17, we pulled 3 main things that define what a disciple is. A disciple of Jesus is someone that 1, is following Jesus, 2, is being changed by Jesus, and 3, is committed to the mission of Jesus. Notice the 3 key characteristics of a disciple. Come follow me is a decision of the head. In the mind, the decision to follow Jesus has been made. I will make you is a matter of heart growth. We're changed by the Spirit inside to be more and more like Jesus. Fishers of men is our hands, right? By our actions, we're committed to doing the mission of Jesus. It's head, heart, and hands. It's our belief, our motives, and our actions. We also spent time in Matthew 22:37-40. You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and the demands of the prophets are based on these 2 commandments. Through this scripture, we define a disciple as someone whose whole life is oriented around growing their love of Jesus and their love of people. Right? It's the whole life. It's not just pieces or sometimes, but all of life. It's not just when you're gathered together, but it's when you're at work and at school. It's all of life. And committed to growing, right? Because none of us is perfect. We all need to grow in our faith and our love for God and love for people, right? Because that's where we definitely need to grow, in our love for Jesus and in our love for people. So with those, we kind of worked out a definition of what a disciple is, but it's not enough to just be a disciple yourself. We are called to make disciple makers, right? To pay it forward, to walk people into a saving relationship with Jesus, to help them grow in their faith and help them pay that forward into the people around them. But how, right? Too often, discipleship has looked like teaching, where we give information to people and expect them to go and do it. However, I would suggest that in our culture, the word coaching is a better one for discipleship, right? I'm a soccer coach, and to help someone be a better soccer player, I can't just tell them what to do. They can't just watch soccer. They actually need to get on the field and play soccer, right? My job as a soccer coach is to help guide them, correct them, encourage them, and challenge them. But they have to get on the field. And the same is true for making disciple makers. It can't just be this once a week coffee with Christian conversation. You have to get on the field. So, to recap, a disciple maker is someone whose whole life is oriented around growing their love of Jesus and their love of people. And a disciple of Jesus is someone who is following Jesus, being changed by Jesus, and is committed to the mission of Jesus. Which is all good information, right? But isn't that just what we were criticizing here? That just giving good information is not enough? We must be doers of the word and not just hearers. This 5-minute training is really only designed to get you onto the field, not to give you all the life change you might need. You need a discipleship coach to walk with you, train you, encourage you, support you, pray for you. So that is step number 1. Who is your discipleship coach or friend? Who's investing in your faith? Step number 2 is, who are you coaching? Who are you training up in discipleship making? And if you don't have actual names and people for those 2 categories, I would challenge you to earnestly start asking God to bring them to you. Because this is what he wants for you. It tells us in his word. So if you start truly asking him, he will answer and bring you people. Because God is with us. We have no excuse for not doing the one main thing he tells us to do, to go and make disciples. So do it. Go and make disciples. I love you guys.
Thank you for watching. If you would like more content, to connect with us, or to explore more of who we are as a network, visit montagemicro.church.